My name is Simonis, and welcome to another Simonis stream. Today, we're going to be doing an Ulduar double feature. We're going to be doing Ulduar 25-man, and then we're going to be doing Ulduar 10-man. First up, we're going to be playing on this character here, Simonis 2, which we normally play as combat, but we're going to be primarily Assassination in tonight's raid. We'll be switching back and forth just a little bit. And then for the 10-man, I'm going to be playing on my main rogue, Simonis Show, hoping to get some of that Algalon loot. My main really still needs, the dark matter, some good rings. There's plenty of stuff in Ulduar 10 that I need. On this rogue, we're really hoping to see a good bracer upgrade. Maybe the Mechanist binding off a Flame Leviathan would be a really nice pickup. Or, we could use a ring upgrade here. This is another one of our weaker slots there. Cinder Shard ring, even off of Ignis, would be a nice upgrade. But right now, this is our combat gear. We're going to get the spec changed around to be Assassination, and then we can switch back and forth mid-raid. We've got a Fang of Oblivion and a Boot Blade for our Assassination weapons. Now, if you're here on YouTube, don't forget to go down below the video, leave a like, maybe a subscribe to Simonis Show TV if you like having me upload highlights and VODs to YouTube. And if you're here live on Twitch, hello, thank you for being here. Let's have a good raid. Majestic, how's it going? Oram says we prayed for dark matter. Yeah, dark matter would be absolutely good. Turn on notifications on YouTube. Oh yeah, right. You gotta ring the bell also. If you just subscribe, it won't automatically tell you when I put out new stuff. If you ring the bell too. Good suggestion, Oram. Witchchard, how's it going? And I see in my activity feed, my friend Jaxer has resubbed to the channel while I was offline. So there's a delayed thank you to Jaxers for the subscription while I was gone. Now, what do we got to do here? We have got to find an enchanter. Any enchanter on with berserking? Question mark. We need to find an enchanter with berserking. This is what our weapons are going to look like. We're going to equip Godbane. We're going to need more expertise. Where can I get that? I don't think I have gear swaps that'll give me that expertise. Oh, maybe, do I have another pair of boots? Is this my only character that doesn't have a second pair of boots now? Yeah, a second pair of boots would be good. I'm going to need to have 214 expertise rating to make this work. I'm at 183. Yeah, I'm in a combat build right now, so I have way too much. I'm trying to figure out the assassination gear. 214 minus 183 is 31, which is exactly 2... Yeah, okay, the way to make this work is to get a second pair of footpads of silence. Then I'll put an 8 expertise gem here, and an 8 expertise gem there, and a 16 expertise gem there. Okay, that'll work. Alright, gotta get this berserking enchant. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom. Can't be going around with Fang of Oblivion that doesn't have berserking. That would be weird. All right. Good. Now, we needed a second pair of boots, so we got to go craft those. I'm going to get onto my main to do that. Lindorn, how's it going? Says, yay, Simon time. It is indeed Simon time. Daring, hello. You got your cinch tonight. Congrats. Do you use Thistletea? Sometimes, not often. I find I usually want to be using a health stone instead. Auction expired. Okay. Something very sad happened. I was crafting boot yesterday, and I accidentally clicked to craft Death-Warmed Belt instead of crafting boot. And I was like, wait, where's my boot? And where's my mats? And then I was like, oh, I crafted a Death-Warmed Belt instead of a boot. And then I just had to buy mats again. So I'm trying to offload this stupid belt. Let's go. Selling, Death Warmed Belt. Whatever, let's take the price down a little bit. Okay, shopping. We need Ruined Orbs, 6 of them. 4, 5, 6. We need Arctic Fur, 3 of those. 1, 2, 3. And I'm pretty sure I have Eternal Shadows to spare on my bank alt. Recently found your videos and you are a Chad man. Great content, says Big Chonk. Well, I'm glad you found my stuff and I'm glad you like it. Welcome to the stream. Happy you can be here live. The YouTube videos, they're usually like 2 or 3 days delayed from the live broadcast. But pretty much everything does go up on the YouTubes, the VODs and the highlight reels. That's basically what I do when I'm not online. I'm either exercising on my bicycle, or I am... Hang on. Summonize 2 should take those. Or I'm editing VODs for YouTube. There. We're going to make this expertise situation work out just fine. I just have to sort this out. I'm just trying to push my 98s to 99s, and some things I'm trolling myself. Oh no. Oh no. Megahertz speedrun today. Nope. This is split raids this week, and then I believe we're going back to doing speedruns the week after. But you know, I'm never certain of exactly what's going on when. Okay. This character sent to Simonize show. They give me the raid schedule. I show up and I raid. It's that simple. Simonize 2. Okay. Simonize show. Eternal Shadow. Where's the Eternal Shadows? There they are. Okay, that's good. Kazakuradu, how's it going? And Ganja the Troll in here. Nikami, welcome. All you guys. I like Dalaran because there's mailboxes everywhere. There is no shortage of mailboxes. Wait, we needed to get onto this character first. The one that can actually craft the shoes. I found that, like, Footpads of Silence is one of the best items to just get an additional copy of and gem it differently if you're trying to, like, do 2 different gear sets on the same character. It's like, it's got 2 sockets, it's BIS either way, you know, it's your BIS, you know, shoe, so you're not, like, downgrading an item. Also, check out this flex, we got that yesterday, pretty nice looking Embrace of the Gladiator right there. Big Pog. Simonize 2. Now, Simonize 2 is now my only character that doesn't have Embrace of the Gladiator. I got it on 2 out of my 3 rogues now. So even though we don't have Embrace of the Gladiator on Simonize 2, I think we're still going to do pretty damn good damage tonight. Okay, now, currency, what am I doing? Spellbook. There we go. Nitro boosts. Boost up the other Footpads of Silence. Sometimes hit a double Hunger for Blood, just zoning out. Yeah. Sometimes, one thing I do like on my Assassination rogue, I'll have, like, the keybinds are a little different. It's like, Blade Flurry, Adrenaline, and Killing Spree, like, those aren't in the Assassination build. So then I'll, like, sometimes press Shift-R thinking I'm pressing Adrenaline Rush, but when I'm in my Assassination keybinds, Shift-R is Hunger for Blood, and it's like, oops, didn't really need to do that. Guardians, Twilight, Opal. Expertise. Good. And accurate. Monarch. Wow, this one's expensive. Usually this one is cheap as hell. Okay. Now we should have everything we need enchant and gem-wise. So we'll go into town so we can respec and make this guy Assassination here. Or make one of the two specs Assassination. We will probably switch back and forth throughout the raid. The combat is just like so much better on most of the trash pulls in Ulduar. On like 2 to 4 targets, it's just like combat's king. But it's like Assassination still edges out combat on single target boss damage, like no question about that. A Plume, welcome. How's it going? What are your thoughts on the feral change? Big Chunk, unfortunately, I'm not a furry, so I don't really spend my time like thinking about furry things. I have no opinion on the feral change. You know, the furries are just gonna keep being furries, and like, there's nothing we can do about it.
What can I do for you?
Okay, switch up. The talents I do have here, these were for like soloing old content, is like one of the best builds I've found for doing that. But we don't need that right now. What we need is Assassination Rogue. 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. And come over here. 5, 3, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 1. Seal Fate. Murder. Overkill. Fuck. Oh, yeah, this one. That one's good. Cut to the chase. Hunger for blood. Okay, double check. Yup. That's what we want. What feral change? They made it so Omen of Clarity... I think... I don't know. There's a Wowhead post about it. I'm just trying to remember it off the top of my head. Omen of Clarity triggers from Fairy Fire Feral. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what Omen of Clarity does. Again, not a furry. I don't concern myself with that. Power Pablo says, hello, Simon. I missed you. Well, glad to have you here, Power Pablo, and we'll be here for at least a couple of hours. Now, we are in Assassination build. We have Berserking here. We're going to put this gem there. We're going to equip our other footpads of silence. And then we're going to go Expertise gem. Our meta is turned off, but don't worry. We'll fix that. There. Perfect. 215. And we still have this dog shit ass bracer right there. Holy shit, that bracer's so bad. Okay. And we're going to save that as Assa spec. We'll give it this icon. Or set, not spec. There we go. Okay, so we need Hunger for Blood, Fan of Knives Slice. These are all combat glyphs. Faint. Hunger for Blood. And we need Mutilate. Best glyph there is. 5 energy off of Mutilate? That's insane. You can do a combo point stacker without costing energy every 6 seconds. Oh, that's basically what's happening for druids? Well, maybe they'll be relevant damage dealers now. You never know. Adrenaline. Yeah, okay, so we replace all 3 of these. Glyph of Mutilate. Hunger for Blood. And Faint. And we're going to have to get the keybinds slightly different. Like actually putting Mutilate on the bar. This goes here. Venom goes there. Venom goes there. What's number 4 supposed to be? Kick? Sure, it can be kick. Oh, cold blood. Let's go. Okay. Those keybinds look good enough. We should repair. Probably repair.
I have the finest wires in the land. Be good.
Apparently my raid tonight was competitive for the first time on most bosses with people at the top of the meter. Oh, wow. That sounds like maybe it's actually a big deal. Let me see. Consumable supply. Good. 44 speed potions. It's good. Secondary talents. We still got that. We can go into our combat set if we want to. Where we're only slightly over expertise cap. Assassin spec. Okay, last thing we have to do is we have to go to 80 upgrades and we have to clone this character and put the other spec in so that when people type exclamation point gear, they aren't confused why they're looking at the wrong spec. Okay, but that's not a big deal. Assassination. We switch this to Godbane Signet. We switch Bootblade up front here. Then Fang over there. Here we go. Accurate. And then this should be Bright. And then we change the gems over here to be Guardian and Precise. And we gotta quickie swap the talents and glyphs. Hunger plus Mutilate. And we just jam some talent points in here. How much expertise do you need? 30. No, that's 30. 32 is way too much. You're gonna have a bad time if you gear up to 32 expertise. So you're gonna. That's basically like you took a lot of gems that should have been attack power, but instead are doing nothing. But it froze. Bro. Website, please. Okay, there we go. It was just lagging. There we go. Okay. Share. Copy link. Go to Discord. Index. Go to top. Simonizes rating setup. Simonize to Assassination set. There we go. Now everything is as it should be. Let me leave this group. We repaired our armor. Gosh, I think we're ready to blast now. Invite. Okay, we got a group going here. Yellow Tonka said, you had a lucky streak of 20 plus ruthlessness procs in a row, then someone messes up and we wipe. Dude, I had a I had a Gluth in phase 1 where it was like, I think I had one finishing move where I didn't get a ruthlessness proc, and like from the time I did my first Envenom to the end of the fight, it was like 99% Envenom buff uptime. It was absolutely insane, and it had really nothing to do with skill. It just had to do with getting insanely lucky, and it took... I don't know if I ever beat the, like, Gluth parse from that. It's just like... It's so lucky. Let's get the hell out of here. I don't think there's anything else we need to do in town. I don't think we're gonna break 100k on the AoE pack tonight, unless they triple pull it. It's like, we're either, with the talent setups we're bringing tonight, the triple pull, I'm talking about the Vezax trash, where we always do insane damage. Why is it mounting? Oh, I don't have my mount macro. The keybind's messed up. Okay, that makes sense. Anyways, the double or triple pull of Vezax trash is, you can do a lot of damage, but ideally you want a talent specialization that has both focused attacks and Blade Flurry to really pop off on that pull. And given the talent builds we're bringing to raid tonight, it's either Blade Flurry or focused attacks. Raid's not supposed to start for another 15 or so minutes, but don't you guys worry, I've got something in reserve here. I saw a YouTube video come out today about Diablo 4's Endgame. And it was like from the official Diablo channel. It's not some bullshit where like someone's making up speculation to generate content for their YouTube channel. It's like a 6-minute, it's just a quickie 6 minutes, so I want to watch that with you guys, react to it. Just go over here. Make sure I got all the final things set up for that I need for raid. Like, open up the assignments tab, perhaps. Guild info, raid assignments. Macro, tricks. Tricks will go to trash and... Oh, that's the wrong day. Ulduar Wednesday. This will go to Convict. Save. And damage dealing tricks will go to Cho. Save. And I'm supposed to be in Siege Engine 4 Driver. Hell yeah. Easy job. Okay. Let's check it out. Look, I have a folder now. Look. Diablo 4 into the Endgame. It's the React folder. Okay? It's important. And also, Salvdali reacted to my classic World of Warcraft changes video. We'll have to check that out sometime also and re-react to his reaction, you know? But for now, let's check this out. I'm gonna pause the other music in the background. Okay. Oh, shit. Wait, hold up.
We're really excited.
That looked like a boss. Okay. That's... Yep, that's a boss.
We're really excited about getting this game into players' hands and letting them experience this massive world.
A main cornerstone of D4 is play your way. As a player continues to advance through the story...
Play your way, he says. Okay, hold up. He says, play your way. Last I heard, they were also saying that eventually the cost to change your abilities is gonna be so high that you would rather just re-roll and create a new character, which sounds like the opposite of play your way. Of all the things I've heard so far about Diablo 4, the thing that sounds the shittiest was when they literally said, like, eventually the respec cost will be so high that you'd rather just re-roll your character. It's like, please do not let that make it to live. I do not want that. I do, in fact, want to play my way, and that's the opposite of that.
activities that provide meaningful progression, no matter their playstyle.
Players will be able to keep progressing in the narrative of the game. Alongside that, the whole team has worked on crafting a variety of different experiences players can pursue.
We're going to have an entire world of Sanctuary for our players to offer. There's going to never be an absence of something to do.
After the player has finished the campaign, there's a lot more game to go and participate in. They gain access to a special, what we call capstone dungeon that they have to complete. Once they're able to finish this capstone dungeon, they're going to gain access to the first world tier.
As you complete the world tier, it will open up the opportunity for you to go into your next world tier. That involves unlocking powerful loot.
Okay. They're saying capstone dungeon.
Gain access to the first world tier.
As you complete the world tier, it will open up the opportunity for you to go into your next world tier.
So we had 2 active on the beta, Adventurer and Veteran, and unless you're a complete fucking noob, you played on Veteran, right? Of course. Although I was actually hearing some people say, like, if you're playing Druid, who is actually so bad, that you might as well just play on Adventurer, because it makes the enemies easy enough that you can actually kill them as a Druid while leveling up. And they figured that that was actually a like net benefit playing Druid on easy mode for leveling up. But then it's like, whatever, enemies get harder and presumably drop even more loot as you go to the higher level world tiers.
That involves unlocking powerful loot, new items, and more advantages for your player to have a better opportunity at endgame.
Whether you're a fan of dungeons, PvP, or just roaming around the world, there's a way to continue your Diablo adventure long after hitting max level. As your character continues to grow in power, you'll start with the skill tree and expand out into the Paragon system.
Okay, we've seen the skill tree before. We've seen glimpses of the Paragon board, and it looked really intimidating, like this big-ass board with a whole bunch of little things to click on and runes to move around. Yellow Tonka, you say you're hyped to min-max Diablo 4 as soon as it drops. Spreadsheets based on beta info already set up. Hell yeah.
A lot of the choices the players make are grounded on skills themselves and the fantasies associated with those skills. The Paragon board is a place where we're allowed to have a lot more depth, a lot more customization.
Wait, hold up. Let's go through these slowly. They're showing us a lot here.
Skills themselves and the fantasies associated with those skills. The Paragon board is a place where we're allowed to have a lot
Intelligence.
more depth, a lot more customization. Paragon board, more depth, a lot more customization.
Dexterity. I missed one. One of them had like a bunch of actual text. Wanted to see if it was like an ability change.
With those skills.
Dexterity, strength, intelligence. Cheap shot. You deal 5% increased damage for each nearby enemy that is crowd controlled up to 25%. Okay, so that's like a whole like talent. That's not just a passive skill bonus. That is interesting. That makes this Paragon board to me much more interesting than just filling out passive stat bonuses. This is like something unique, a power boost that's unique to the Paragon board, right? Okay, we should change it back to full speed mode now.
More depth, a lot more customization, many more options as you go.
You can rotate the board, so you can choose a different path if you're like, I want to do more strength-based things, or I want these particular boons or glyphs. You can chart your path through it, and they're really a way for you to keep expanding your character and making it uniquely yours.
Similar to the Paragon boards is the Codex of Power. It's an in-game system that holds the
Okay,
aspects.
we know about the Codex of Power and the imbuing stuff. We got all of that in the beta. We already have charts of like offensive aspects can go on these item slots and resource aspects can go on those item slots, so you can plot out like if you're trying to max out the number of offensive aspects you're using, you know, for this, because different characters can even use different weapons. Like, you can, like, the offensive ones can go in amulet, ring, weapons, gloves. So, that's 2 rings, 2 weapons, well, 3 weapons for a rogue, gloves, and amulet. Like, that's the max for offensive. Okay, we figured that system out, but let's see what they have to say about it.
You are able to complete a dungeon, and they will have a chance to drop an aspect that you can pick up.
And what this allows players to do is
Chance to drop an aspect? In the beta, it was guaranteed. You did the dungeon, you got the aspect associated with the dungeon.
items they're finding in the world and make them more powerful, turn them into legendary items.
It's really special to discover what kind of playstyle really means the most to you. Every part of Sanctuary is fulfilling and satisfying. Dungeons in particular are really close to my heart. Nightmare dungeons are going to give the players the opportunity to experience a dungeon that they might have already experienced in their past playthroughs. They'll enter the dungeon with a found sigil that alters the playstyle and the intensity of the dungeon.
Okay.
More difficult, and they have additional objectives, and then
Okay. This is good. I mean, they were talking, a lot of the complaints were about how the dungeons were kind of repetitive and the objectives were kind of boring. If, like, amplifying them into nightmare dungeons, if this is, like, an easy thing to do, and maybe that can provide some of the, you know, additional variability and difficulty that people wanted with the dungeons.
we also have affixes, which add a degree of difficulty for you and your group to work through.
One of my favorite affixes that you can find in Nightmare Dungeons is actually called Hellgate. Occasionally, these portals will open up throughout the area that will just pour out different monsters that aren't native to that region for you to also be dealing with while you're trying to handle everything else inside the dungeon.
Sounds like I'm just getting more loot because I'm killing more monsters.
In Diablo 4, and any one of them can become a nightmare dungeon by finding a nightmare sigil and then using it to activate the nightmare version of that dungeon space.
Everything's a little darker, everything's more difficult. It's going to add a little bit of a twist of flavor on your particular dungeon.
There's some targeted activities in Diablo 4 that suit what you're feeling in the mood for.
The Forces of Hell are starting to have more influence in certain parts of Sanctuary in the vast interconnected overworld of the experience. And as the players are going into Helltide areas, they're finding even more powerful monsters.
Okay.
And by killing them, they'll be able to gain these special shards they can take to go and use to purchase these big rewards that are available at these caches that are found littered throughout Helltide areas.
The sky darkens and the rivers run red.
Oh, this is the
beasts fall
PvP
from the
thing.
sky,
I remember this
monsters
now.
get harder. We really want to create
I think?
new experiences for the players. There's one I really like called Whispers of the Dead, which you get from the Tree of Whispers. The Tree of Whispers is grim and a little gruesome, but it's also something mystically haunting and kind of beautiful.
The tree has a little bit of a grudge against our players and it would like for them to go serve its needs. So you're going to go serve these bounties, gather different rewards, different items, and bring them back to the tree in hopes that it can exchange you something really meaningful.
Maybe you're going to go to the Fractured Peaks and take out some
Okay,
werewolves.
let's back it up. What was that?
Different rewards, different items,
Look at
and
that
bring them back to
screen.
the tree in hopes that it can exchange you something
Tree
really
of
meaningful.
Whispers, choose your reward, collection of one-handed weapons, collection of boots, collection of gauntlets. So it looks like I'm choosing between like an assortment of random items of a particular item type.
Maybe you're going to go to the Fractured Peaks and take out some werewolves that are rampaging in a town. They're contained activities that you can do alone or in a group. We really wanted to create variety for people to be able to spend time where they wanted to in the world. It's very cool the way it's been put together, and I can't wait for people to see it, to be honest.
Wait, maybe this is the PvP
In Diablo
thing.
4, we have a focus on the world of
Yeah,
Sanctuary.
okay.
And there are parts of that world that we call the Fields of Hatred, where Lilith's presence in Sanctuary has begun to seep through and manifest these poisonous areas throughout the world. When players go to these regions, they get to engage in player versus
Yep,
player
okay, this is the
These
PvP one.
offer opportunities
Helltide
for
is a
the player
different
to
thing.
collect Shards. But there is a little bit of a catch. In order to get these shards back to town, you will need to purify them. Other players will definitely know that you're attempting to purify your shards, so you'd better be prepared to fight if you're going to be playing any PvP, and be prepared that you might lose some stuff in the meantime.
Once they've got the purified shards, they can take these, go back to nearby towns to sell them, and then use that to buy a whole bunch of like interesting cosmetic items and rewards.
It's a place for people who really love...
That looks like another
Shards, they can take
gamble
these,
window,
go back
like
to
the
nearby towns
obols.
to sell
Let's
them,
look at
and then
this.
Use that to buy a whole bunch of like
Cap, tunic, gloves, boots, pants, unsavory oddities, vendor. Yeah, these are, so the red shards are the like tokens you get from the PvP and it looks like you're gambling and buying. It looks like he's going to buy a glove. It looks like the same as the gamble from the Obel's vendor.
Interesting cosmetic items and rewards.
Yep, he just added a glove to his inventory, lost 2,000 shards. Turns out it's a blue, so unlucky. Bolting Strider's hand wraps of just discharging, it says right there.
It's a place for people who really love PvP.
So
and
it sounds like the reward from what we see here, the reward from the PvP is pretty, it's not unique. And it's not even that special. It looks like it's just another gamble window.
want to still get loot and still increase their character's power. If that's the way they want to play, they can.
Launch is just the beginning. One of the things we're really focused on is creating a living, breathing set of updates for players to engage with after the game has gone live.
It's really just going to be a way to keep coming back and experiencing more Diablo 4 in fresh ways.
We're really eager to hear all of your experiences and just enjoy the entire story with you all.
Whoa, that guy looks cool. This is maybe another world boss, perhaps? I have no idea, but he looks awesome. Given how zoomed out the camera is, like when we did Ashava the Pestilent on the beta, the camera was zoomed out like this to make the characters so small, which makes me think this is, in fact, another world boss. Okay. Cool. Now we're back. Let me turn the music back on. I'll get on the voice chat for my raid. There we go. Ah. Okay. We're here. This character, I haven't played this character as Assassination for a long time. This has been the combat rogue for basically forever. Gosh, yeah, we're still using Runestone even as Assassination. It is a little bit better than Greatness, but it's not really the main choice for an Assassination rogue, that's for sure. Oh, I should do a Flame Leviathan set. That's 238, 232. Do I have an option there? I do have an option here. 232, 232, 232. That's higher eye level. That's good. This should be 239. 225. This is actually the Flame Leviathan set. I just haven't updated it recently. Am I ready? Yes, I'm ready. Okay. Wait, I feel like my camera's a little messed up. Much better. We're in frame now. Okay. First boss has one of the biggest upgrades we can get, which is wrist wraps. Changing our wrist wraps of the Cutthroat into Mechanist bindings. That would be sweet. Okay. In the vehicle, double check the assignment. It says... So I'm going to show Siege Engine 4 roughly in the upper left. And DJ House Beats is supposed to be my passenger, and they are my passenger. Let's just go over here. Romer says, feels like D4 is going to be huge first few weeks and then die. I don't know about that. I don't think that's a foregone conclusion by any means. I think, I mean, if they make the seasons good, if they have enough change in each season, then I think it'll have plenty of longevity. Mildly OP says, I'm gonna need you to start playing DK so you can make some DK tip videos. Oh my. I have a DK alt, I just don't play him very much. He's Frost. It's like not even phase 1 Bis, but he was like decently geared for phase 1, like almost Bis. And then phase 2 rolled around and I basically never played him again. So now he's way behind in gear. Okay. Siege engine. Let's go. Easy job. What we do is we sit here and wait for flame vents to happen. Okay. That was a system shutdown, not a flame vents, and I just blasted my interrupt anyways. Easy job, guys. Easy job, by the way. Got him. We're getting fire. We'll just chill right here. We'll be good. Thor, how's it going? Welcome. You on an alt in this raid? I don't see your main in here. I don't know everyone's alt. Nah, you're just in yesterday's. Okay, okay. See, that's the kind of alt name that I like. Because basically, I don't have to know anything to know that that's the same, you know, the same person as the main. It's kind of like how all of my characters are named. Simonized show, Simonized 2, Simon 3. Like, it's very obvious this is the same person. There we go, flame vents. I'm a rogue, I'm a lock, I'm a DK. That's enough consistency between the names that, like, I would know that's the same person. Right? But it's like, who would play a rogue named Simonized Show and then, like, I don't know, a warlock named Blasted Boy? It's like, who would even guess those are the same person? It's kind of weird. What the f- I hate those fucking... We were so far out of the beam. Fucking wrecked. Yeah, exactly. There we go. Pendant of Havoc, okay. Inferno couplings. That necklace is good for casters, for sure. We'll hit. Pass on loot, yes. Okay. I just clarified with the other rogues. Belrogue is full-time combat. Disown, they said they're full-time assassination. So we will switch back and forth per the situation to whichever spec I think is better for the situation. Any food? Nope. We do our own food. Okay. It's blasting 13.5k DPS on console earlier and we wiped. Oh no. Dude, 13 is so much. That's a lot of damage for console. Like, even for council, like, you get a damage buff on council, but also it can be difficult to, like, stay on target all the time because they get moved around so much. Okay, so for this section, we're definitely going Adrenaline Feint Killing Spree. Oh, we should do Fan. Where's my Fan of Knives glyph? Okay, bro. I thought I was gonna get this fixed here. Down to one enemy. I didn't realize I didn't have the fan glyph in my combat set. Still in combat, okay. Okay, we're wiping now anyways. They messed up the pull. What we're doing here is we're practicing pulling the Ignis trash into Razorscale. And they messed up something with the pulling the Ignis trash. So then it was just like, okay, wipe. Yeah, I think if we're all outside, I think you can, you know, right-click reset. Yeah, just say when we're good to zone in. I mean, I think they're trying to reset just to respawn those two Molten Giants. We still got people inside. We going back in then? Yeah, we weren't entirely sure if you could reset the trash or not.
Yo! Hurry back!
We used to do that in Black Temple, but you had to do it a special way you had to use a 26th player who was not saved to the instance. And if that 26th player hit reset, then it would properly reset the trash. Okay, now we can fix the glyph. Combat set on this character is a little bit over expertise cap, but there's nothing I can do about it. There's not a single expertise gem in the gear in the entire gear set. It's just Soul Devouring Cinch plus Conqueror's Terrorblade. And boom, you're over expertise cap. There's like nothing good I can actually switch out. But the Assassination set lands almost perfect. 215. That's only one rating excess. Instant poison. Deadly poison. Just making sure we've got everything ready for when we do switch to Assassin, which will be, if we have a chance to do it, we'll do it before Ignis. If we move too quickly, we would just run Ignis as combat also, but we'll definitely swap to Assassin before XT and do XT as Assassination. That's just a long-ass single-target fight. Should be a Zelda music night. Actually, I have new stuff on my list. Well, new to some people. It's not going to be Zelda. I'm trying to expand the list so I have a bigger variety.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
There we go. How's the volume on that? Okay. Could be a little higher. There we go. We don't need to tricks here. We can save that. We're a little bit behind because we didn't use any move speed bonus. This is where we use the cooldowns as well as the tricks of the trade. Where's the other ads? It's not time for cooldowns yet until all the ads are in. Gotta target the Magma Rager. That's who we really want to be damaging. Spinning. Move away. Good, good, good.
Run away.
Turret 4 coming up soon. Good. It's almost time.
Move quickly! She won't remain grounded for long!
Oh, wait, I don't have Vanish. I'm going to have to use my Killing Spree for the knockback, because I used my Vanish earlier. Don't have Tricks range for my Warlock here. There we go. Finally got in range for Tricks of the Trade. This is not going to be a Rupture. He's too close to dead. We can Blade Flurry here. Ooh, okay, I did one extra Sinister. That final Sinister should have been an Eviscerate. Yeah, the Ragers for the cooldowns. Okay, we're probably not gonna pull off a spec swap here. Yeah, prior to Razorscale landing, I was,
Insolent whelps! Your blood will temper the weapons used to reclaim this world! Killing spree.
Prior to Razorscale landing, my Tricks of the Trade was on cooldown from trying to help a tank.
The Maker's will be done! Burn! Burn in the Maker's fire!
Okay, we used our Adrenaline Rush, and we're going to try to turn that into... Yeah, we turned it into an Eviscerate. Here's a Slice and Dice.
Burn in the Maker's fire! Arise, soldiers of the Iron Crucible! The Maker's will be done! I will burn away in the Maker's fire!
Move. Follow the boss. Follow the boss. Don't lose uptime. Rupture refresh. Perfect. What buff does Combat Rogue bring to Raid? You get a 4% increased physical damage debuff on basically anything that the Combat Rogue attacks. So that's pretty nice. I hit the Killing Spree there because I'm not sure if I would be able to get one more. I think... And it's probably pretty clear I was only going to get that final one. If you know you're only going to get one more of a finisher, usually the play is to hold it for a trinket activation. Oof. I got a little greedy with that Eviscerate there, and it kind of like delayed my Rupture, and then it kind of screwed my Slice and Dice also. That was definitely a greedy Rupture that I shouldn't have done at the end. The one during the during Adrenaline Rush was good. The second one was not. So I'm switching back and forth this raid, combat to assassination, because the combat's just gonna give me more damage throughput on like 2 to 5 or 6 mob trash pulls. Like here, I'm gonna switch into assassin real quick. Because this is not a 2 to 4 or 5 mob trash pull.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Now we're in assassin. Good, 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 good. Just blasting right here. Cooldowns are for the heart. We should have our Tricks of the Trade ready to tricks our Warlock on the heart, and then immediately after the heart as well. This section is not that important. I'm actually just going to energy cap here, because I want to spend all of that energy on the heart. It's twice as valuable being spent on the heart. So even if I burn a little, I think it's generally good to go into the heart with full energy. Obviously, you want to minimize that energy burn, but some is okay. I get up to range. There we go. So my Warlock was a little bit out of range. So I had to scoot back a little. Is Fell Striker even a thing? Yeah, we're going to use it on some Vezax trash pulls. That's how I've been getting nearly 100,000 DPS on the trash. It's really, it's the same as it's always been, is like Fell Striker is really only a good thing when you're fighting a large number of enemies at once. It's for AoE. Checking in from my 16th Fell Striker run of the day. Well, good luck. Titan Steel Spellblade? Yeah, same story as Fell Striker. It's like, it's a tool for AoE against large numbers of enemies. And outside of that, it's not really relevant for anything else. Like, a lot of the, like, normal trash pulls in Ulduar are not high enough enemy quantity to care about Fell Striker or Spellblade. But it's just like the one pull before Vezax where you double or sometimes triple pull. That's like 16 enemies if you double pull. It's like 24 enemies if you triple. I dropped my Hunger for Blood. I don't know how long I've dropped my Hunger for Blood for. How long was it, guys? Was that long enough that it was, like, incredibly embarrassing or only mildly embarrassing? – 6 seconds? Okay, that's mildly embarrassing, I would say. Come on, final Mutilate. Nice. Okay. Boss is dead. We didn't get the Mechanist bindings off of Flame Leviathan. Antechamber and Gear Swap. Combat set. Okay. What I learned last time is that on this pull, you don't press Killing Spree. Not right on the pull. Yesterday, we did this pull where we're going to pull all this stuff and those two big boys. And, like, these have a really dangerous frontal cone attack. And I Killing Spree, like, they weren't quite all in position yet. And I Killing Spreed and I jumped around as Killing Spree does. And got killed by the frontal cone attack from those big boys in back. It was not good.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Alright, I think I hit my cooldowns a little earlier than I really needed to. But we lived it, so that's good. We aren't dead. Nice. Go right. Got a stack on this guy. It's very important. Another big boy. Single target mode, no more fans. Little of this. Iron Council next. What are we dazed from? Oh, that's why we got dazed. Makes sense. I understand now. Alright. He tricks our Warlock here. We're far enough behind that the threat into the tank doesn't matter. Adequate gamers had to have your first chat message be Huntards, welcome to the stream. Okay, they're saying pause. We'll do Assassination for this and Algalon. And then we'll go back to combat for Kologarn. If a target dies in a group and you lose target, how do you start auto-attacking while spamming fan? My fan macro has some help in it. Cast Fan of Knives, start attack. It could have, like, a target nearest enemy. No, if it had target nearest enemy, that would not be helpful. Start attack should acquire a target if it, if you don't have a target already. Oh, you guys can't quite see that. There you go. Now you can see it better. The chat was in the way. These are the two important lines. Steelbreaker. Rundir. Yep, okay. Hard mode.
5,
Translocation
How is this?
complete.
2,
Commencing planetary analysis of
One of the
Azeroth.
world's greatest Naxx. One of the world's greatest heroes. Yeah, still.
Stand back, mortals. I'm not here to fight you. It is in the universe's best interest to re-originate this planet should
Okay.
Malygos find systemic corruption. Do not interfere.
Stay on target. In rune and on target, even better.
run.
Fine. Usually cover that with a divine sacrifice or whatever. Ooh, double. Oh, I didn't get my Tricks of the Trade out at the right time. I tried to get the tricks onto my Warlock buddy. Too far. So they could snapshot the double, but I was too slow. If we get another opportunity for a double, which we probably won't, but we might. Here's Rune of Power. Pushing damage here.
The legacy of storms shall not be undone. You seek the secrets of Ulduar.
Okay. Good, good, good. Checking if I have Thistle Teas in my inventory or not. Is there going to be a heal here? Nope, it's dead. Stay away from the tank who's about to explode. Oh god. Oh god. Wait, no. Oh, there's a lot of time. There's a lot of time. They they got kind of close to me. There we go. What do we get for hard mode loot? Sapphire. Yeah, that's the hard mode stuff. Sapphire Amulet of Renewal. Does my assassin set really still have 4-piece of tier? Hit crit, crit haste. The assassin set should use this. This is hit crit, this is crit haste. This item will be just a little bit better, because I don't utilize that 4-piece bonus as assassin anyways. Okay, minor change. Alright, we're crafting an Algalon key. We're waiting for... Probably possible. Alright. They were talking about some Algalon strategy, something. It's not important. Does feel a little awkward seeing my runestone pop up as assassination. It's not the way. Soundtrack makes me feel nostalgia. Yeah, it's Pokemon Red and Blue. Only 4 Warlocks, so if we try to doom stars, we can do 2 max. 2 dooms on each. Okay, here we go on Algalon. What version of Pokemon is the best? Red and Blue, obviously.
Actions are logical. All possible results for this encounter have been calculated. The Pantheon will receive the observer's message regardless of outcome.
Oh yeah, yellow with Pikachu following you around. Of course.
See your world through my eyes. A universe so vast as to be
5,
immeasurable,
4,
incomprehensible even
2,
to your greatest
1.
minds.
Okay.
The stars come to my aid.
Right leg. Joe Tricks range. Yep.
Watch your step.
Left leg.
Watch your step.
Right leg. Oh, I was late with that feint.
Find
Witness the
shelter.
fury of the cosmos.
Watch your step.
Left leg. Okay, getting close to needing a... Let's just hunger refresh now, then do the envenom.
Watch your step.
Right leg. Good, 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 good. Looking good. Left leg. Okay. Easy Algalon, you guys. Looking good so far. I think we used one battle res so far.
Find
Witness the
shelter.
fury of the cosmos.
Start right leg. That was probably not good to envenom immediately before. I don't know. I was trying to just... Left leg. Trying to just spend some energy. So maybe in that respect it was good. But I definitely didn't utilize the envenom buff duration. Like, at all.
Behold the tools of creation.
Watch your step.
Melee out. Out, out. Right leg. Someone in the wrong position there kind of fucked it up for the melees.
Watch your step.
Left leg. JK. Boss is dead. Okay. Yeah, all the weak auras are in my Discord. You're gonna find, like, boss weak auras like that in the general weak auras pack. Oh, they're hype about the loot. I haven't seen it yet. Star Shard, Pharaohs, Leg Plates of Endless Void, and Reply Code. Star Shard and Pharaohs, just some nice loot right there. Okay, combat spec, or combat gear. And we'll get combat spec also.
Yet all throughout, my own heart devoid
Okay.
of emotion, of empathy, I have felt.
Yeah, we've gotten a lot of Star Shard edges in this guild, honestly. So many. Okay, this boss is super poggers for combat. Fan, Killing Spree, Feint. These aren't like super optimal glyphs for Kologarn, but like we're not really focusing on doing glyph swaps between bosses. Spec swap is enough for me, and like realistically in a speed run I wouldn't even be doing glyph swaps generally.
I've rearranged the reply code. Your planet
Okay.
is spared. I cannot be certain of my own calculations anymore. I lack the strength to transmit.
Belrogue's got pretty good combat gear.
Must hurry.
It's going 4-piece.
Find a place of power close to the sky.
Dark Matter Comets. Those are some nice ranks. And he's got Fluxers also. Damn. 5194 gear score versus 5030. I mean, he's got better gear than me, but he's also on exposed duty. He's the full-time combat in this one. I'm the like flex slot.
Signal is not transmitted in time. Reorigination will proceed regardless. Save your world.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
None shall pass. Oblivion!
That's pretty good damage, I would say.
The life from you. Oblivion!
Okay, we did enough damage.
I will squeeze the life from you.
Gonna want to refresh.
Oblivion! Only a flesh wound.
Target arm. Boss is dead. Nice. That was good. That was good, clean kill. Cloak vanish. Too much rubble. Okay. Now this is going to be 4 mobs. We're going to get those guys over there and these guys here. Oh, a Wrathstone. Okay, so we're getting our paladins to practice doing the Mimiron trash skip. They do that immediately after Kologarn. So they like use some invisibility to go through here. Then they've got like rocket boots plus divine shield plus some other bullshit. I don't know the whole sequence of stuff they do. But immediately after Kologarn, they blast down that way to try to execute the Mimiron trash skip. Okay. What's gonna happen here is we're gonna wait until we got all 4 mobs together. And make sure we don't make that low health one much lower. Yeah, okay. Got a little too aggressive. Did too much cleaving. I got first distract. You want distracts? Yeah? No, okay. Yeah, when you pull those 2 on the right, and then it takes like 15 seconds before the other 2 get in, like, people tend to just tunnel the first skull target and it gets too low. I didn't want to reduce my, like, total throughput by stopping fanning, but I definitely, like, switched my auto attacks and my single target damage into the high health ones. This whole Hodir section is going to be pretty good. Gonna try to skip. Yeah, okay. Did not successfully skip. Catch up. Here we go, Revenant. There we go.
Friends, you're going to help me test out my latest and greatest creation. Now, before you change your minds, remember that you kind of owe it to me after the mess you made with the XT002.
Okay, go on this champion. I should not be Sinister Striking so much. There's multiple targets, so I need to be doing like 1-point slices and then fans. This section, you're like continually pulling stuff in. The mob counts are fluctuating so much as like you pull more stuff in, you kill some stuff, then you pull more stuff in. I just figured I was not going to mess with trying to switch weapons. You know, there's definitely times where AoE weapons would be good, but it just like the counts fluctuate so much. I thought like it's just not worth my attention to try to pay attention to. Good, we're back. Into Assassination for Hodir.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You will suffer for this trespass.
Okay, tricks into the tank. Attack the boss. It's good. Got that Cold Blood and Venom in the Tricks of the Trade for lots of bonus threat. We didn't have Slice and Dice up for until just now. That's a big oopsie. But, you know, problem solved. We're now in a Moonbeam. Love to see it. That was supposed to be an Envenom and not a Mutilate. Ooh, these are nice beam positions.
Find shelter.
Consume you.
Boy.
Step.
Come on, spread the buff. Dude, how are there so many people that it took so long to spread that buff?
To come so far, only to fail.
Gotta keep moving all the time so I don't get the biting cold debuff.
Find shelter.
Consume you.
Damn. We could kill him before that cast starts. We were so close. Because he can't die while casting. So it's a little weird thing, like... You gotta kill him right before that happens. Okay. Oriaya next. Easy spec swap. Oh, wait. We just got our last fragment for Vives Valinir, I think. He's saying he's got to go turn in a part of a quest. Huge. That's actually our guild's first Valinir. We've gotten extremely unlucky on fragment drops. Like, honestly, it's week 12 and we're getting our first one. It's insanely unlucky. But we got it finally. There's another Big Pog combat boss. Okay, good opener. Again, I tend to forget using the speed potion on the opener. I definitely should use the speed potion on the opener there. But there's like so much else going on. Sometimes I try to get the slice and dice up first. Sometimes I just focus on putting as many globals into a Fan of Knives as I can. There's a Vanish on the fear to negate the fear effect. Timed very carefully. Vanish can make you immune to the fear.
Stack. Stack.
Move too far away. Okay, we're good.
Fear incoming. Interrupt.
Gonna get another killing spree here.
Stack.
Damn. We lost a good deal of slice time there. I thought it was dying a little bit sooner. And then I also got punished by not getting the ruthlessness point. Okay, boss is dead. We're headed into Thorim. In a speedrun, I'd run combat all the way through here. If I get a chance to swap into Assassination before Thorim, then, like, yeah, fine. But if I stay combat, that's also fine. maybe we were going to get 4 mobs at once, and I could have held cooldowns for that. Yeah, definitely should have held cooldowns for this section with 4 up. I shouldn't have used the Blade Flurry and Killing Spree right at the start. Focus on the other Ravager. But, like, this is exactly where combat is super strong in Ulduar. It is like these 2 to 4 mob packs. It's so good. Even with a 90 parsing rogue, is it worth using the GCD for tricks every time for overall DPS increase for the raid? Yeah, it's definitely more efficient than whatever else you're doing. Go assassin here. We have time. We might not have time to make this swap in a proper speed run, but we have time for it now, so we'll do it. So, like, if you really wanted to do, like, perfect tricks of the trade, the first one that you cast, like, before the fight, if necessary, it goes on a tank. Otherwise, like, if you need it for establishing threat, otherwise, it goes on the Affliction Warlock. Then the next one goes on an Affliction Warlock, if you didn't do it already. And then the, like, mid-fight ones go on, like, Frost DKs or other rogues. A Affliction Warlock doesn't really utilize it super well mid-fight, typically. And they can sometimes utilize it pretty well at the execute phase. Like, if they're going to re-up a corruption during execute, if the execute phase is long enough for them to want to do that, then they make very good use of a Tricks of the Trade there also. Drain Soul has a long cast time, so, like, if they're just Drain Souling in general, in the execute phase, you have to time the tricks carefully to make sure they're actually activating a Drain Soul when the Tricks of the Trade buff is there. Because, like, Drain Soul's like an 8 or 9 second channel. Tricks of the Trade's 6 second buff. Maybe it's longer than that. The Drain Soul cast, whatever. But, like, casting tricks on someone trying to deal damage is virtually always going to be more efficient for total raid damage than spending that energy on one of your personal abilities. Okay. We did forget one thing. We have to look at the assignment sheet, but we've got plenty of time to look at the assignment sheet right now. Thorim assignment. Simonize 2, position 2, directly behind Thorim. Okay, that's what I expected.
Thorim, my
Okay.
lord. Why else would these invaders have come into your sanctum but to slay you? They must be stopped.
Dismantle, please. There we go. Warbringer and Champion. We can disarm him. How close are we? I don't see him coming yet. Oh, they're coming now.
Dare challenge me atop my pedestal? I will crush you myself.
Impossible. Lord Thorim, I will bring your foes a frigid death.
Maximum melee range. There we go. Perfect. Okay, we're gonna need Feint for this one. Big absorb. Okay. I love not having to cast Killing Spree on this boss. Casting Killing Spree on this boss as combat's so annoying, having to monitor his Chain Lightning cast. And then, like, making sure you cast Killing Spree only right after a Chain Lightning cast. Ooh. Whoa. What happened? We're back. We didn't move the entire time. We'll have to look at that death log.
Stay your arms. I yield. You, fiend! You are not my beloved. Be gone! Behold the hand behind.
Oh, we go back to
all
combat.
has befallen Ulduar, left my kingdom in ruins, corrupted my brother, and slain my wife. And now it falls to you, champions, to avenge us all. The task before you is great, but I will lend you my aid.
Yeah, I got Frost Nova, 2.9 seconds before death, Frostbolt Volley, 2.3 seconds before death, then a Chain Lightning. For the Chain Lightning was only 3,000 damage, but we just got zapped immediately before it. The conclusion is we got unlucky. Okay. Okay. Moving in. Give me that fan damage. Not even spending energy on... It's so tempting to... What? Nice, dude. We got heroism. We gotta be in combat for 30 seconds, right? They said back to trial. One of our shamans just recently graduated from trial to full-time member.
Children, assist me!
So what we're trying to do here is be engaged with this boss for about 30 seconds and then wipe. I think we'll go combat for Freya. I don't know. Combat on Freya, it's kind of like... If you get the ad spawns in the right order that's good for combat, then it's insane. But if you get them in a different order, it's less good. So it's like, if you're just trying to high roll, like, sure, go combat. But if you're trying to look for a consistent performance, it's much more worth considering using Assassination for the higher single target. So I'm actually kind of deciding right now which one I want to do here. Okay, what's wrong with my music? It's very quiet. It is Animal Crossing a mix. F that. Alright, we'll do combat. ScreamerTube says combat. We'll do combat. I don't give a fuck. I don't have instant poison on my main hand. I definitely give a fuck about that. I don't know how long that's been true. Oh, loots. I love loot. Vanquisher Helm? We already have that. Sapphire Amulet? Pass. Dude, 2 different caster necks. Grasp of Reason, that's Bis caster loot also. Grips of Chaos. Caster loot, Caster Bis loot. This thing just kind of blows. Pass, 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 pass. None of these are rogue items. There we go. Okay, we're done. Alright, we try again on Freya. I'm thinking about the Vezax trash. Since I can't have a spec with both focus attacks and Blade Flurry, I have to basically choose between standard combat and standard assassin. If we're double pulling that, I think I still go with assassin for focused attacks. And like, I'll maybe be able to get a hunger for blood. I think focus attacks is better than this, and this. Like, it's just so much energy. So then we'd have to... If we could, we would switch into a fan glyph, which would go over the feint glyph. Let me make sure I have those glyphs available. I have a feint available. Do I have another fan available? I do. Okay. So we could, if we wanted to do the assassination spec for those pulls, we could do it. And we'd switch the glyphs accordingly. Or the simpler choice is to run the combat build that already has the fan glyph, but is likely weaker. In the fan build, this is actually my only character that doesn't have Rod of the Sun King, which I would definitely use on that pull. If I was combat, I would use Spellblade main hand, Rod of the Sun King offhand on that Vezax trash pull as combat. And then as assassin, it would be Spellblade Fellstriker. The Flame Leviathan neck bested slot. For casters, I think it's good for besting slot for some casters and not others. There's like a couple different 252 decks. There's I think the Sapphire Amulet one is the Iron Council one. I think that's a healer one, like it's got MP5 on it or something. Mackie GZ says, Simon, how do you do, good sir? Hello, hello, hello. I'm doing well. Sapphire, I think, is Mage Biss. Oh, boy, okay. Shows what I know. He's using Fiery Havoc. Ellie, what is Ellie using? Just because they're using it doesn't mean it's, like, the Biss thing. Oh, this is just haste spell power. I thought it had like MP5 on it, which usually makes it a healer item. But no, this is just two different 252 caster necks. A haste one. And a hit haste socket. Wait, this has a socket too. What's the difference between these? The amulet has... I mean, Fiery Havoc just has 52 hit, whereas Amulet has 53 spirit. So Sapphire Amulet sounds like it's going to be good for Warlocks that make really good use out of the spirit. The rest of these stats are remarkably similar. Okay, Pharaoh's Gloves going to Elmlock here. Huge. I thought he said he was quitting because of Mankind and, who's that other guy? Elmlock posted a great post on our Discord on April Fools. He was like, I've been, dealing with some stuff in my real life. It started all the way back in 1986 when Mankind threw Undertaker out of the stage, and he was very upset about the result of Undertaker versus Mankind. Do I PvP? Not really. Yeah, that's true. You might have been confused about how much damage I was dealing. Okay, we didn't get the Wrathstone. I went to a raiding main, which is as expected. Give it to mains before you give it to alts. That's the general plan. What are the situations where the Rod is better than Fellstriker? I don't have Rod. I'm wondering if I should get it. Generally, so they're both like strictly for big AoE pulls, like high number of enemies. A lot of the power from Fell Striker comes from the guaranteed critical strikes triggering focused attacks and giving you just like unlimited energy effectively. As combat, you don't have focused attacks. So Fell Striker loses a lot of value. And I would generally rather just on big pulls as combat go Spellblade plus Rod. Like, not having Rod, I probably... Well, I mean, I'm going to try to switch into Assassination here, is really the plan. For the General Vezax big pull. Is there a post to set up how to set... No, there's no post detailing exactly how to do that, unfortunately.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Elders, grant me your strength.
Okay. We focus this.
Your servant requires aid.
We have to kill the Lasher. Holy shit. Dude, that's so fucked. That Guardian healed so much. The big problem. Alright, they're calling the wipe.
The swarm of the elements shall overtake you.
Anyone killing me, please? Kill me? Nah, we're dead. Pogometer is measuring if my crit RNG is above or below average. It provides exactly 0 useful information for making good decisions in the game. It just tells you if I'm getting lucky crit RNG or unlucky crit RNG. So yeah, the main thing, we're pulling that trash pack into the boss, and the way the trash pack works is whenever you damage the small plants, they start casting a healing spell on the big plant. Oh, I just zoned in right before getting rezzed. Oh well. And basically, we had too much AoE going off and too many of those heals. People were not focusing on single target on the big plant enough. Pogometer... No, actually, so the Pogometer will read what my expected crit rate is, and then know if I'm getting above or below average. And Fell Striker changes my expected crit rate to 100%. So it knows that I'm supposed to get crits and adjusts accordingly. It's literally just how lucky are you getting. You know, your Dark Matter procs, if you have Dark Matter, that gives you a bunch of extra crit rate. Pogometer knows. It knows you're supposed to get more crits. The one thing is, because Cold Blood doesn't technically modify your crit chance, Cold Blood will inflate the Pogometer.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Why does the gem selections on the spreadsheet not recalculate total DPS? I'm unsure what you mean. When you change a gem, it definitely should change your total DPS, unless, like, you're changing in a gem in a way that doesn't change your stats at all. So I would guess the answer is user error. Okay. So right on the edge there. I took a 1 explosion at least.
Children, assist me!
Ah, it's too late with that kick. Hold out for a slow on the Snap Lasher. I hit my Vanish stun.
Run away.
Ooh, roots. There we go. Good. Here we go. Conservator. That's not a mushroom. That's a mushroom. Well, immediately we're fine. Totally fine. Big slice refresh. Blade Flurry's back. We'll have it for the next trio spawn. Oh. Lashers. So I'm gonna try to get away here. Okay, trio spawn is last. I do not have evasion. I don't have tricks either. So this could be a little dangerous. Get the slice back up. Yeah, okay. That was the last one. We're on to Freya only. Okay. 2-point slice into a 5-point rupture is the plan. There we go. Good timing there. Gonna get a little bit slow into this slice and dice, but we're fine. Probably not doing another, yeah, definitely not doing another rupture. My Warlock is dead. Will I get another killing spree? There we go. I don't think that counted for the damage on the boss.
Thank you, heroes.
Okay, we got Cloak off of this boss. Drape of the Sullen Goddess. Spark of Imagination. I think I want Assassination for this one. I think. I mean, it's really nice to triple cleave in the third phase as combat. Settings for nameplates. I never changed the settings. I installed it and I never touched the add-on, so I don't have any settings profile or anything like that.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Self-destruct sequence initiated. This
Now
area
why
will
would you go
self-destruct
and do
in
something
10
like
minutes.
that? Didn't you see the sign that said, "Do not push this button"? How will we finish testing with the self-destruct mechanism active?
I clipped that in Venom a little early.
Run out.
I can fix that. Or maybe not. Sheesh, what a mess.
This area will self-destruct
That's
in
bad fire.
9 minutes.
Yeah, it's actually not bad fire. Never mind.
Wonderful. Positively
Okay, stacking on diamond. Going into phase 2.
0.9%. Barely a cent. Moving right along.
Okay, Matrix Cho.
Behold, the VX-001 anti-personnel assault cannon. You might want to take cover.
Immediately get going here.
In 8 minutes.
Hunger for blood up. We're a little delayed on that. Where's the frostbomb? There it is.
Watch your step. Watch your step. Keep moving.
Another tricks on my warlock buddy.
Watch your step.
Rocket barrage and melee, careful.
Thank you, friends. Your efforts have yielded some
Okay.
fantastic data. Now, where did I put... Oh, no, there it is.
This area will self-destruct in 7 minutes.
Okay, phase 3. We're moving, we're moving.
Isn't it beautiful? I call it the magnificent aerial command unit.
Looking for fire bots. We're gonna kill them. There's one in range in the fire.
This area will self-destruct in
Oh,
6
my targeting was messed up. here. So we intentionally killed all the fire bots because we had a big clear area of the room. And so like we didn't have to worry about moving around. Because something that happens with the fire bots is the firebots do respawn through the fight. I noticed we got a couple up now. The idea is we were fire capped, so the fire wasn't going to spread anymore. So if we get rid of the fire bots that remove the fire, then we just like know we have this large safe space for the entire phase, because nothing's going to change where the fire is during phase 3 if you kill all the fire bots. Damn, this is not going the way I thought. Belrogue probably gonna pull up on me on this phase. Some mines, but where is he going? I'm gonna switch on to middle here.
Watch your step. Keep moving.
Spinning up. Yeah, we still want to stay on middle. It's got higher health.
In 4 minutes.
Watch your step. Run out.
Run away. $6 million. And stay up top, middle, and bottom are pretty similar.
Watch your step.
Switch. Aerial command unit. Good. Okay, we got it. Moving on. Now,
it would appear that I made a slight miscalculation. I allowed my
put the faint glyph into here.
in the prison, overriding my primary directive. All systems seem to be functional now.
Then we're going to go into the combat build for the first pull and then try to switch into the assassin build for the second pull. Shattered walkway. Over here we go. Gonna have to poison these. Oh, these are already dead. Okay. Here we go. Instant, then deadly. Stay with this weapon setup for this pull. Okay, we're gonna disarm the skull. Wait, we didn't spec swap. Oops. Well, I guess we're just fanning this pack until I can bother to equip that item. Now we can actually... Okay, we screwed up a little bit. We were intending to do that pack as combat. But we're just assassination specs, so whatever. How's my weapon swap macro work? It's not keybound, so it's not working. Oopsies. Macro. Weapon. Oh, yeah, I definitely don't have weapon swaps set up for assassination build. This is just going to have to be manual. this one and this one. Do we have free action potions? Yes. We should use those on this pull. I think Slayer almost always spawns on the left, which makes it a little more dangerous side to start if we're double pulling. Okay, this is going to be a big pull. Double pull. They're saying you actually don't want the Protection Paladin to do the bubble pull here. So that because they can't do their Divine Shield into their Shield Wall ability, because it gives them forbearance. So you use a different class. Here we go. Nope, 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 nope. Fucking not getting dispelled. Literally, highest DPS in the raid didn't get dispelled. Cringe. That was disappointing. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That was disappointing. I was feared for a good majority of that big damage time. Okay, deadly, instant, that's how it's supposed to be.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Go.
Interrupt 1.
Now we're basically in position here.
Interrupt 3.
Are you only swapping weapons or storm shrouds? Just the weapons. Just the weapons. I didn't really have the swap macros set up the way I meant to have them set up.
3. Interrupt 1. Interrupt 2. Interrupt 3.
Yeah, I mean, not only was the fear 6 seconds long, so that's like 6 lost fan of knives, but then I was, because I ate the full duration fear, that means I was out of position and then needed to move back into the mobs after the fear, so it's losing even more than 6 seconds of uptime. Now people are going to think rogues are bad because I got beat on that pull. It's all over. No one will ever believe rogue AoE is superior anymore.
Interrupt 2.
I got feared twice. I used my human racial on the first one.
Interrupt 3.
Fix tank.
Interrupt 1. Interrupt 2.
Dude, I already got 2. I have 2 like really good pulls here out of, I don't know, I think I've only done it like 3 or 4 times. And I have 2 really good clips, and they're on the YouTube, and they are quite good. Everyone likes watching me do 80,000 DPS on that trash pull. That's for damn sure.
Interrupt 2. Interrupt 3. Interrupt 1. Interrupt 2. Interrupt 3. Interrupt 1. Interrupt
Just
2.
pushing this boss down.
Interrupt 3. Interrupt 1. Interrupt 2.
Almost time to stop.
Interrupt 3.
Okay.
Interrupt 1. Interrupt 2. Interrupt 3.
Okay, we chillin'. Nice boss, by the way.
Interrupt 2. Interrupt 3.
Yeah, this rogue's assassin set isn't really set up
Interrupt 1.
properly because this rogue has just been only combat for so long.
Interrupt 3. Interrupt 1.
So I didn't. What the problem with that was, I didn't have my weapon swap set up the like macros to facilitate them. I didn't have that set up properly.
Interrupt 3. Interrupt 1. Interrupt 2.
Okay, it's almost time. We're gonna refresh our hunger for blood. We're gonna get a slice and dice, and we're gonna tricks the tank.
Interrupt 1. Begin.
Tab. There it is.
Interrupt 3. Interrupt 1. Interrupt 2.
15 seconds to tricks.
Interrupt 3. Interrupt 1. Interrupt 2.
Nice.
Interrupt 3. Interrupt 1.
Got the second tricks.
Interrupt 2. Interrupt 3.
Good. Threat is really nice this time. Look at that. Range, don't have to worry.
Interrupt 3.
On to Vezax. Tricks the trade again.
Interrupt 2. Interrupt 3.
Good, good, good. Mash this in Venom. Get it before he dies. Nice. What do we get? Lotrophen. Spear of the Damned. Vestments. Oh, this is the hard mode. Vestments of the Blind Denizen. Leather, haste, spell power, loot. Okay. Oof. Oof. That's not a flare of the heavens. Okay. Make sure I have my tricks bound in a way. This was I made a mistake last time. I didn't have a plain Tricks of the Trade bind. Oh, we gotta look at some new assignments here. I'm portal number 7, and I'm supposed to go, let's see, near, middle, far. What is it? Does that make sense? Far, far, far. Far would be like in Icecrown Citadel, it'd be... And are we trying to push this for a 1 phase here? Okay, so I could use I'll use like both of my sprint effects to try to make the first one as good as possible rather than balancing them. Yeah, so I'd sprint right off the rip to kill the tentacles and then boot into the brain. Okay. Let's see. We need our health stone. Beyond the bar. There we go. They're saying, like, they don't think we're gonna have quite enough DPS to, 1 phase it, but we're basically doing as much as we can to try to 1 phase the brain, so we can actually see how close we are. Why is this... There we go. Wait, the combat set should probably have that. Wow, my combat set was wrong this entire time. Oops. There we go. Have you been doing your TOGC dailies to get teleport tabard? Nah, fuck that, dude. Oh, I like having items that teleport me around the world, but if I have to do dailies... Dailies are the most cringe content in World of Warcraft, if you ask me. I would rather level on Classic Hardcore than do dailies. Do you play Classic Hardcore? My rogue on Classic Hardcore, I think he's level 7. So, not really. But I've been kind of thinking about it. It seems very popular, and, like, maybe it gets me away from all the, like, the more cringe aspects of the, like, try-hard min-maxing community. You know what I mean? Like, honestly, I've been thinking about this a lot. It's like, I think what I liked a lot about min-maxing in Classic and TBC is that it was basically entirely unnecessary to clear the content. Like, the content was just easy as fuck. But, so you just min-maxed for the pure fun of it. But now, in Wrath, the content is so difficult that it's like only a minority of the players clear the content. Min-maxing just feels way more necessary. And I mean, frankly, it's less enjoyable for me to, like, care about that kind of thing when it's necessary rather than voluntary.
3, 2, 1.
The time to strike at the head of the beast will soon be upon us. Focus your anger and hatred on his minions. Yes, yes! Show them no mercy! Give no pause to your attacks! Let hatred and rage guide your...
Whoa, that's 3 mobs. Pretty aggressive strategy here.
Let hatred and rage guide your blows. Yes, yes! Show them no mercy! Give no pause to your attacks!
Oh, wait, that feint was early. Oh! That was a very good phase 1. It was a very good phase 1. In terms of, like, overall execution, I didn't do that good on the damage. But, overall, the guild did good.
Target you.
Malady on me? Oh no. Please don't. Fuck.
Tremble, mortals, before the coming of the end.
Wow, I used my sprint at the start expecting it would be up by the time I go into the portals. It is not going to be up. Constrictor, I can't get over there in time. That's portal number 7. I'm right here.
Madness will consume you!
Tremble, mortals, before the coming of the end.
Bad news, sire.
That was super clean. I liked that.
They will stand together until Stormwind has fallen.
We had people essentially assigned to nearly assigned to individual tentacles. So like everyone had their one to go to and kill. And that was really fast handling.
Assemble, mortals, before the coming of the end.
I think we'd have got it if we committed. The hesitation kind of spooks people, I think. I think we could have got it. I was actually out of position.
It is done. All have given that which must be given. I now seal the dragon's soul forever.
That terrible glow. Should that be?
For it to be as it must, yes.
I was getting low health. I couldn't go full blast on those tentacles. This is gonna push here. There it is. Okay. Go away. There's my warlock, buddy. 15,000 in venom. Hell yeah, dude. Looking for interrupts I could do while the gaze was going out. Gaze. Go 5. Dude, I fucking love it when I get to kill my teammates and it's actually optimal strategy. God, whenever you just kill them when they get random mind controls and other mechanics, it's all like, Simon, stop griefing. But when they get mind controlled in Yogg-Saron, it's like, Simon, why didn't you kill them faster? God, I fucking love that. I actually fucking love it. I'll just call it out too. I'll just call it out on purpose. Kill this person, so then everyone knows they lost all their sanity. Reforged Hammer of Ancient Kings, there it is. Yeah, not bad. Big pog damage. Okay, what do we get for loot? Mim's Head, Show of Faith, Garona's Guise, Soul Scribe. Show of Faith, this is the hard mode loot. Each time you cast a spell, there's a chance you gain MP5. Okay. Bird Flu coming in with the Prime sub. Thank you very much. Welcome to the stream. Welcome. Who is this guy's talking? What do you mean? Who am I? I'm Simonize. I am the Simonize show. Okay? Get Soul Scribe to replace Titan Steel Spellblade? That's not how it works. The only relevant stat on Titan Steel Spellblade is the fact that it says Dagger and then it says 2.5 speed. That's it. Garona's Guise A bunch of expertise? No, thank you. Conquerors, I already have it. Vank, leg, don't need it. Mim's head, not a main, I don't get to do that. Yeah, Titan Steel Spellblade is way better than Soul Scribe. Look, this is only 1.8 speed. Okay, we are done with AQ 25, but we are going to do a 10-man next. So they're going to handle a little bit more like loot distribution, then we're going to pop over onto our main and do 10-man. Yeah, so Thor, the way the reason there's two reasons why Titan Steel Spellblade is literally the best fan weapon in the game. So first of all, fan basically just gets a baseline bonus when it uses a dagger. You see, it's 111% with daggers and 74 with non-daggers. The second thing is that Fan of Knives is what's called a non-normalized ability. Almost every instant weapon strike is normalized. It's very unusual to have an instant weapon strike ability that is not normalized. What the difference is, on a non-normalized ability, your attack power scales proportionally with the weapon speed. The slower the weapon speed, the more damage you gain on the ability per point of attack power. That's not how most abilities work. Most abilities ignore your weapon speed and have a normal value that they scale the attack power off of. And 2.5 is exceptionally unusually slow for a dagger weapon. Which is, I mean, like the next slowest dagger is 2.0. So it's just completely absurd. Did I say AQ 25? I meant Ulduar. We're done with Ulduar 25, and we're doing an Ulduar 10 afterwards. God, I'd send an AQ 40 right now, honestly. I've got my nearly full Bis Rogue on Classic Era. Gressel, Full Bone Scythe, Kiss of the Spider, Badge of the Swarm Guard, all those goodies. No THC though, that's true. I ended Classic with fucking Widow's Remorse. Oof. Oof. Not even Iblis or Hungering Cold though. For humans, they're like almost identical. For Human Rogue, the like performance of the two offhands. You could get either, but Widow's Remorse ain't it. Are you doing the MC run as well, or was that tomorrow? Tomorrow's stream is my first, I call it a community stream. We're going to go to Molten Core. It's going to start with just me and try to clear the raid. And every time the group wipes, I'm going to pull in a rogue. I'm going to pull in a rogue from stream chat. So, like, I die once to Luciferon, probably, and I'm like, alright, get a second rogue in here, try again. And we go through the raid and see how many rogues it takes by the end. And I don't know, I expect it'll take less than 10, you know, so not too many. If it's over really quickly, we'll just do the same thing with Blackwing Lair next. That is going to be... That is going to be tomorrow. I have it pinged in the stream channel. Thursday, April 6th, 1 p.m. EST. That's when I'm planning to start. I think this is going to be fun. And frankly, if it's a hit, there's a whole lot more options. Like, we can do Molten Core, we could do Blackwing Lair, we could even try to do AQ 40. AQ 40 has some bosses that'll be very difficult to do with only rogues. Twin Emperors might be problematic, let's say.
Citizens of Dalaran.
Yeah, Blackwing Lair might have to start with 2. It doesn't make sense to do it with the first boss with 1.
Today our world's destruction has been averted in defiance of
But yeah, that's the plan for tomorrow. Here we are going to move into Ulduar 10.
Algalon, the observer, herald of the Titans, has been defeated.
I have to look.
In the depths of the Titans.
Who's got the
Algalon
invites for 10, man?
our world. He found a planet whose races had deviated from the Titans' blueprints.
Alright, let's switch out. We got a different spot for this rogue. We'll go on this rogue into the 10-mans. Black Temple rogue only. Let's go. Let's see. We might have to skip... I was thinking about that before, and I was like, we might have to skip Reliquary of Souls. Because there's the one phase on Reliquary of Souls where you get a percentage-based Thorns effect. And the rogues will all just kill themselves in-game on Reliquary of Souls. I'm not sure that boss is possible, even with 25 level 80 rogues. Skip Terran? Why would we skip Terran? You just kill it. Who cares about the ghost mechanic? Am I forgetting some other relevant mechanic? Oh shit, my Deathworm belt sold. Nice. Okay, for the YouTube VODs, I'm gonna split this into two different VODs. So I'm gonna redo a YouTube intro. So you can say hi YouTube if you want to.